Hi everyone, my name is Hadley Mikkelson, and today I'm going to be giving you a tutorial on how to use Common Lit in your Google Classrooms. So to start off, how to access the website is simply by typing in commonlit.org for commonlit.org, and it's going to take you to a site that looks like this. Now, you will need some sort of Wi-Fi enabled device to be able to access this website, but it is completely free to use for teachers, students, and families. So I have already signed up for an account using my school's email address, but to show you how to do this, you can do it two ways. You can either go up here in the right-hand corner and click this sign up button, or you can click create free account in the middle of the page. So I'm going to click create free account. It'll take you to a spot that looks like this, and since I'm an educator, I'm going to choose I am an educator. Now you're going to have to give some simple information about your workplace and the role that you are. So for example, when you click this down window, it is going to give you some options of what type of school that you're in. I'm in a public school, so I'm going to choose public school. And then the zip code for my school is 66012. And then I work in the Robert E. Clark Middle School area of my district. Once I've got all that information in, I'm going to click next, and it will bring me to a page that looks like this. From here, you're going to click or enter in your first name, your last name, the school email, confirm your email, create a password, and then confirm your password, and then click next. Now, once you have entered in all of that information, it is going to bring you to a page that looks something like this. Now, this has so many different resources for you to use, not only in an ELA classroom, but also in a history, math, and science classroom. So if we scroll down this page, it's just going to give you some highlights that it has right now. So for example, we are in the spooky month of October, so it's got some spooky text in favor of Halloween and Dia de los Muertos that are both in English and in Spanish. And if you see down here, you'll be able to access the Lexile range, what type of text it is, and the grade level that it is for. And if we keep scrolling, we've got some text to commemorate Indigenous Peoples Days, and so on and so forth. Now, if I'm looking on how to pair this with my Google Classroom, the first thing that I'm going to want to do is go up here to My Classes, click that drop-down button, and then click Manage Classes. Now, I've already imported some of my own ELA classes just to do some prior research, but to show you how to do it, I'm going to import my Tier 2 class. So click on this big yellow button, Create and Import a Class. I'm going to import my classes from Google Classroom. And the class that I will be importing today is my academic focus class, which is again that Tier 2 support class. Now, for each class that you do import, you're going to have to say what grade level it is for and the subject area. So for my case, it is 8th grade and English language arts/literature. So then I'm going to click the import button and then OK, got it. So now it's going to bring me to the class that I am in. And then from here, I'm going to ask myself, what types of text do I want to assign to my students? So over here in this Browse Content button, I like to do the Browse Library. And why I like to do this is because it gives you these different options to choose what type of text you want, and then also the grade that you would like to look in. So for today's example, I'm going to use 8th grade. So I'm just going to click 8th grade here, and then it will display all of the different 8th grade texts and resources that it has. And then also, one of the reasons why I really enjoy using Common Lit is because you can go by text, which is just individual text sets, themes, book pairings, supplemental units, or something new that they have is entire units and entire lessons. But just for today, I'm going to click texts, which will give me individual texts to show to my students. Now, my students had just finished reading The Landlady last week, so I'm going to use The Landlady as an example. So I'm going to click on The Landlady, and it will bring up the text for me, and I can scroll all the way down to see how many paragraphs there are, because it gives the paragraphs to the side, and just simply how long it is. Now, if I want to assign this to my classroom in Google Classroom, then all I have to do is go up here to this big assign button, click it, and then it'll take me to a page that looks like this. Now, I can assign it to one or more classes, or I can assign it to individual students if I would like to. But for this example, I'm just going to assign it to the entire class. Now I can give some annotation tasks or just some instructions in this box right here. And then I can enable guided reading mode for all of my students or for one or more individual students. And then it has some assessment options. Now, what is cool about assigning these passages to the Google Classroom through Common Lit is that it does come with some multiple choice questions, short answer questions, and even there can be a discussion added as well. So for this example, I'm just going to assign all assessment questions, which is what they recommend. Today would be the start date. And then for the due date, I'm going to choose a week from now, which is the 31st. Now, when I have decided what I would like to do and what I would like to assign to my students, I would go ahead and click assign. Now, I'm not going to click assign right now because I do not want to assign this to my tier 2 class, but if I was going to assign it there, then I would. This is an awesome resource that you can use in so many different classrooms and in so many different ways. And even if you don't want to use it through Google Classroom, it's just a wonderful tool to be able to print out stories for your students to read. I really appreciate your time in watching this video on how to use Common Lit in your Google Classrooms.